Hey guys, welcome to Rotor Riot. Today I'm very excited because we're reviewing the DJI O4 Pro and the O4 Lite.
I'm so excited about this. So excited about this. This is something I've been waiting for a long time.
The whole community has. The last time they released something was like, what, 2023, 2022?
It's been a long time. It's been a while.
2025 now. Crazy.
It is 2025, isn't it?
It is. Today's January 9th, 2025. Okay, so before we get into actually showing you guys the footage and stuff, let's go and talk about the specs really quick. So first off, let's talk about the range.
So the O4 Pro can go up to 15 kilometers.
That's like 9 something miles, right?
It's a lot.
Okay, and the O4 Lite can go up to 10 kilometers or like 6.5 miles.
About 6 miles, yeah, something like that.
Either way, I don't think any of us are really gonna be flying that far.
Yeah, I've never even flown that far before.
Yeah, so we're talking about range when you have direct line of sight, no interference.
No buildings in between you.
So if you're standing next to a building and you try to fly behind the building 15 kilometers out, not gonna happen.
Probably not gonna happen.
Range and penetration are two different things.
Yeah, but they're very similar as far as if you have a lot of range, you'll probably also have a lot of penetration.
Yes.
So that's beneficial to us that like to fly freestyle in buildings, which is what we like to do.
Yep.
And that means you're gonna have a ton more penetration than you had previously.
Yeah, that's always been one of the really strong things about the DJI systems is the penetration through buildings or wherever you're flying, behind things.
So let's talk about video resolution now.
Yep.
The DJI O4 Pro records up to 4K 120 and a whole bunch of resolutions underneath that.
Yep, and the O4 Lite records up to 4K 60 and then, a bunch of resolutions and frame rates below that. What we mean by that is like, this can also shoot 4K 60, 4K 30.
Yeah.
And same for this one. So that's what you record to the onboard DVR. So the DJI O4 Lite has 23 gigabytes of internal storage and the DJI O4 Pro has 4 gigabytes of internal storage.
But the O4 Pro also has the upgradability of putting a micro SD card in there as well.
Yeah, I mean 23 gigabytes it's not a lot, but it's like good enough for a day of flying.
It's good enough for my day of flying. Yeah, I always forget my SD cards anyway, so it kind of works out for me.
Now to talk about the video formats it can record. The DJI O4 Pro can record in the normal color profile, and I'm very happy to say they also record in D-Log-M. Very happy that they have D-Log-M. For you guys who don't know, log footage basically means the footage is a lot flatter, less contrasty. What that lets you do is in post when you're color grading, you can make the colors look a lot better. The DJI O4 Lite only has the normal color profile.
Yeah, I guess you're not using it for like Hollywood studio type filming, so it's okay. I mean, it's a really pretty image.
Yeah, I mean, you're not using either of these for like
Hollywood. A lot of times I'm lazy and I don't have time for post editing anyway, so I just slap it on YouTube, and that's totally fine for YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. It's still a step up from the last generation, so thank you, DJI. Okay, so now to go to the cameras. I am really excited because every generation they seem to be getting better and better, and the O4 Pro has a 1 1/3 inch sensor. That is huge, by the way.
I don't know a whole lot about cameras, but yeah, if you say it's good.
Basically, big sensor, really good in low light, and also just better in general.
That's gonna be great to be able to fly in darker conditions, because in the past we've had a little bit of struggle there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Really good on the O4 Pro, and then on the O4 Lite, there's a 1/2 inch sensor, which it's light. That's the biggest thing about this.
Yeah,
the image quality is still really good.
Yeah, so one of the things that we noticed is that the video field of view was a little bit different between the two of them also.
Yes.
So the O4 Pro had 155 field of view.
And the O4 Lite had a 117 degree field of view.
Okay.
It's a little bit smaller, but when I was flying it, honestly, it didn't affect me.
Yeah, it didn't bother me too much. I didn't even notice it. I like to fly in the ultra wide field of view, and if you're gonna be flying a whoop, you're not really gonna have that ability to do ultra wide, but it still is wide enough. Now we're gonna talk about the physical aspects of the two. The O4 Pro comes with dual antenna setup.
Yep, and the O4 Lite comes with a single antenna. So, and as far as mounting goes for both of these, the DJI O4 Lite has 25 by 25 mounting holes, just a very standard size for like any typical whoop that you would see, right?
Yeah, it comes with gummies as well, right?
Yeah.
In the package. The O4 Pro has 20 by 20 mounting and 25 by 25 mounting holes. M2 screws, so standardized, it's amazing. They did a great job. And on the back, they even have 25 by 25 M2 holes in case you wanted to mount it from this side.
Now for, connecting the cables to the flight controller, I'm so happy that they have just went ahead and used the exact same wiring, exact same cables as the previous generation. So if you fly DJI O3 right now, you can, at least for the O4 Pro, you can just unplug it and plug in O4 Pro.
It's so great, yeah. Both of them have plugs, and they're the exact same plugs they've always used. I love it, it's amazing.
Now to talk about the size of the cameras, I'll be honest, I don't like the size of the O4 Pro.
This is a pretty big camera, guys.
It's really big.
Oh my gosh, this isn't gonna...
It's 25 millimeters wide and 25 millimeters tall.
It's huge. It's not gonna fit in every frame that's out there, guys. You're gonna have to struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, back in the day, I made the Tank and the Tank S, both future-proof, and the 04 fits in both of these frames with new 3D prints that'll be available at rotorriot.com.
That's mine. It doesn't fit in mine. So buy the tank. Don't buy my frame if you're not put this in there. So really, really big camera. I think a lot of people are going to be okay with that because of how good like the image quality is.
Yeah, so you're taking a hit for better resolution, better quality. Cool thing is that the video transmitter is a lot lighter.
Yeah, it's about 10 grams lighter than the 03, and it's also just a lot smaller in general. I mean, it's very flat.
So even though this is going to be harder to fit in some frames, this is going to be a lot easier to fit in those frames.
Definitely. And so as far as the camera for the 04 Lite, it's just this little square right here. And you might be wondering, how the heck do you mount it? It comes with this little plastic piece. The one that you get might be gray, because I think this was from a prototype piece, but it just clicks in. There we go. Just
very satisfying.
Snaps in right there, and it's very strong, and you can have mounting holes there, which I'm very glad about.
So in case you're wondering what voltage these guys can handle, this 04 Pro can handle a voltage range from 7.4 to 26.4 volts.
And the 04 Lite can handle 3.7 to 13.2. So basically, the 04 Lite can take 1S to 3S batteries.
And the 04 Pro can handle 2S to 6S batteries.
2S to 6S, yes. Basically, don't put a voltage into this that's higher than the recommended because it'll go poof.
And they overheat sometimes too. So there was always an overheating problem in the past with some of the older DJI systems. This one doesn't overheat as fast.
The 04 Lite, though, overheats really fast.
It's
I mean,
really
that has to be expected. There's no heat sink on it. It's very bare board. So when you are flying this one, just do make sure that you are plugging it in and taking off.
Plug it in and take off. Don't sit around on the bench too long. Yeah. Now, how do we get these files off of these things?
For the internal storage, both of them have a USB-C port that you can plug into your computer.
Yep. And that's used for updating and for getting the footage off of the internal storage.
Yes. One nice thing about the 04 Pro is that if you have an SD card in there, you can just plug in a USB-C and you can take the files off the SD card as well.
Yeah, it's a little slower that way, but you can get it off of both hard drives. Both of them show up in your computer, the internal and the SD card.
Let's talk about compatibility. I guess I'll just give you the list. It works with the Goggles 3, the Goggles N3, the Goggles Integra, the Goggles 2,
That's a mouthful.
And as far as the controllers go, it works with the Controller 3.
And the Controller 2.
Yeah, so very good on compatibility. So those are all of the specs of the DJI 04 Pro and the 04 Lite. Now let's go ahead and talk about the features.
The first feature we want to talk about is stabilization.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I love about these things because I'm lazy and I don't like to do after stabilization.
Yep.
These both have the ability to have onboard stabilization through what they call Rocksteady.
Yeah, so basically you don't have to do anything, just take the file off the card and it can be stabilized. You can turn that on or off. So another type of stabilization that these have is it has onboard gyro data. If you turn off the built-in stabilization, you can take the footage and put it into a software in your computer called GyroFlow. And I'm so happy that on both of them you can use GyroFlow because it allows you to manipulate the parameters of the stabilization a little bit more to get a little bit better of a stabilization. Yeah.
Now for me, it's good enough for YouTube. I like that basic stabilization that's on there. I don't have to do anything extra, but if you want to do something a little bit more for more professional use, you have a lot more control over it with GyroFlow.
Definitely. So let's go ahead and test those out in the field. Okay, we just teleported out to the field.
We're here.
We're here.
We're going to test all the different versions of stabilization, right? We're going to do stabilized with Rocksteady. We're going to do unstabilized, and then we're going to do some unstabilized that we're going to future stabilize in GyroFlow. We're out here at this industrial sandblasting and powder coating plant, and it's just awesome. We got all this cool structure to fly around. We're going to put these babies to the test, see if they can handle some crashing.
Yeah, but also see if they can handle, I guess a little bit later in the video, see if they can handle like good penetration, because if we look over there, there's a bunch of like
tons of metal and concrete, and it's also a little bit dark, so we might be able to see how well they handle the low light as well inside there.
Sure, for sure. Thank you to our cameraman Dan for getting this place set up. Let's go ahead and start some flying. Let me know what you guys think about that footage in the comments below. Which option would you use for stabilization? I have looked at all of them in the past before, and gyroflow definitely looks the best. Rocksteady is definitely the easiest to use.
For lazy people like me.
and me sometimes when I'm freestyling stuff. And unstabilized, I also like unstabilized. I'm fine with that. So let us know in the comments down below what you would do. All right, let's go ahead and test some of the stabilizations of the 04 Lite. So we're gonna do the exact same thing that we just did. We'll basically be like a raw, rock steady gyro flow. And maybe I'll talk about it. But if not, just enjoy some music and some sick riffing. So I guess how far are you?
Okay, so now I am all the way in the very back of the building. Yeah. I haven't had a single blip of latency at all, which is crazy because I'm through so many levels of metal right now. This is wild. I'm at 50 megabits per second all the way in the back.
You're at 50 still all the way over there?
I'm at 50 megabits a second all the way in the back behind every single building that I can go behind. Oh, going behind the very, very farthest building, I had a tiny bit of latency there, but I was able to pull out of it. It dropped down to 30 when I went behind the very farthest building, but otherwise it's been rock steady at 50 megabits a second the whole time.
30 is still really high. Like, there's a 10 megabyte mode.
It only did it for a second, though. Otherwise, it's like perfectly smooth. Like, I'm flying around the whole building.
Okay, so I guess also this isn't like the perfect test because he does have upgraded antennas on there.
Yeah.
That being said, the stock antennas that come with the Goggle 2s that he's using are still really good, and I kind of prefer them.
Yep, so literally I've gone through every single building all the way around every single building in this place now, and it hasn't budged under 50 megabits per second the whole time. That's crazy.
That's crazy. So we don't mean to like
oh my gosh,
deceive you guys. Range and penetration from the past DJI systems has been phenomenal. It's basically the same as well. But just glad to see that it's seeming like this one is keeping the higher megabytes per second longer throughout the whole flight. With 03, the megabytes per second would be going up and down a little bit more. This seems to be locked at 50 a little bit more.
Yeah, it's locked, but I still have that latency and that pixelation every now and then, even though the megabits per second aren't dropping. I don't get it very often though, like only if on the most extreme circumstances at the very farthest points do I get a little bit of a blip, but it's perfectly flyable in this whole area, which is awesome.
Talk a little bit about the image quality in the goggles versus kind of like 03. Because, I mean, 03 was already like it's had the same specs, 100 FPS, 1080p.
Man, this is so much clearer and prettier than the 03. It's just like really crispy, man.
It's prettier than the 03?
Oh yeah, it's really oh, I'm getting a little bit of latency there.
There's the big truck that just pulled up next to us.
Okay, the truck blocked my signal a little worse, I guess.
So, kind of funny, I actually just flew a drone yesterday that had the original DJI not even just the air unit.
Oh, like a Vista or something?
It was the original air unit.
The original OG
air unit
air
yesterday,
unit. Wow.
Yeah. And I guess just like remember when that first came out and it was like, ah!
Oh my gosh, I'm never flying analog again. Yeah.
And then now it's like this. It's like, ah! So, yeah.
Yeah, the quality of image on this just blows my mind. I love it. It's awesome.
1080p, 100 FPS. So the benefits of DJI are that the image quality is amazing. You have really good penetration and link quality. The one place that you might suffer a little, not even suffer, just it lacks a little bit, it can be, in the end of the past has been latency. A lot of pilots are like, I need the lowest latency ever. And most of us are just like, The image quality is so good, we don't care about a little bit of latency.
I'd rather take the sacrifice.
100%. So DJI released with the 04 air unit system a new feature called race mode.
Yeah, I'm interested to try that out.
And
see
what
it's like.
this does is lowers the latency to 15 to 20 milliseconds. Still kind of high. I think right now in the normal mode it's right about 30. So I'm curious to see how it'll work in the 15 to 20 racing mode.
I haven't really done any latency tests, so this would be good to have like a A/B comparison.
Yeah, I mean, so this is not going to be scientific. We're not going to like actually judge. We're just going to go based off of feel.
Yeah.
So I think what we should do, I'll fly the drone, and you set it to a mode.
We'll do a blind test.
A blind test, and don't tell me. And then
Okay.
I'll see if I can go.
Okay.
If
Yeah,
I
we'll
can
see
know
if you
which
can
one it
tell
is.
which one it is. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
I mean, I'm able to tell like the difference between like DJI and analog and stuff. So I think
Okay.
we'll see.
All right, I'll do that right now. I'll set it for one mode, and I'm not gonna tell you what it is.
You're not gonna tell me what it is. I'm gonna go away. I don't want to hear it. Let me get really far away.
Okay. All right. So Bubby's
Okay, you're good.
walking away, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. It's gonna be in regular mode for the first pass, and then I'm gonna set it to racing mode in the second pass.
We're good.
Yeah.
All the employees here are probably like, why is that kid covering his ears and riding?
Switched over to the Goggles 3 because the low latency mode only works with Goggles 3, we think.
Emphasis on we think. We don't really know.
Okay, I found racing mode in the menu. We went through every single menu of the Goggles 2, and I couldn't find racing mode. I finally found it in the menu here on Goggles 3, so I've confirmed that it's only available in the Goggles 3. They might do an update in the future, I don't know. But as of right now, racing mode is only available on Goggles 3. And the first one, I'm just going to leave it off, and he's not going to know that I didn't do anything. So, here we go. Okay, it's in one of the two modes now. I have to put the camera on the drone in 4x3 mode in order to not be able to tell the difference between racing mode and normal mode. Because racing mode is only available in 4:3 aspect ratio mode, I had to switch both modes to 4:3 so that you can't immediately tell the difference. We're trying to do a blind test here, so it's got to both be in 4:3. So I switched to 4:3. And I've got it in one of the two modes. You know which mode it is. He doesn't. And he's going to go ahead and fly it now.
I don't. Although we did this test for the first time, and I instantly knew this is normal.
All right, here we go. He's up. All right, you're up. That's a pretty cool structure to fly around. So what do you think? Immediate impressions? Do you think
I think it's race mode.
You think it's race mode now? Okay. Well, we'll see if you're right.
Actually, let me test. I don't know. I need to go back and forth, but I don't know now. Oh, I don't know. Wait, no, I'm overthinking. Oh, dude, look, does this over here too?
I didn't even go over there. You're like in uncharted territory. That's pretty cool. Nice.
So I'm just like trying to do different moves that would like need latency. Okay, we're gonna bring it in and swap batteries and put it to the other mode.
Okay. All right, so what do you think it was? Do you think that was race mode or do you think that was regular mode?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not as confident. I think it was race mode. I don't really know.
Mode. So if you had to pick one of the two, which one would you pick?
I'd pick race mode.
Okay.
But I want to do I need to do the A/B comparison.
Yeah,
That's all I can. I haven't, you know.
You're still not sure. Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right. So there we go. You're ready.
Oh man, I can't. I don't think I will tell.
You can't tell?
No, it
Really?
feels very similar to last time.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
See, the issue is now I think this is race mode.
See, I don't think I could tell the difference between 15 milliseconds of latency either because it never really bothers me. You keep finding places I never flew to.
It's here. I think it's race mode.
Well, you got it. You got it right. So
I'm glad I got it right, and that actually proves something that
it's kind of funny that you were like second guessing yourself though.
Okay, so I guess what does that say? That race mode, you can tell a little bit of difference.
You can.
I was second guessing myself because I was stressed. I was like, I gotta get this right.
You gotta get this right. So, but I think it was interesting that you were second guessing yourself.
Yes,
You know?
the very first time that I did it, I was like, it just feels the same.
Yeah.
The second one I did with the racing mode, I was like, I forget, it's still a drone, it feels the same, but it feels a little different.
Yeah.
And then the last one, like, just like I said, when I got inside, a little bit lower and more proxy to obstacles, I was able to kind of feel it a little bit.
If you guys have a set of Goggles 3, check it out and see if you can tell the difference. Have one of your buddies work with you and do a blind test. I think it'd be fun.
Definitely. All right, guys, that was our overview and review of the DJI O4 Pro and the O4 Lite. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. It's definitely the latest and greatest.
I'm super excited about it. I always like it when new stuff comes out, man. I love all the new fun gadgets and gizmos that DJI gives us.
Yeah.
And these new Lite system and the new Pro system are both going to be a huge benefit to me.
Yeah.
I'm definitely upgrading. Let us know in the comments if you guys are going to upgrade to the new DJI O4 system.
You can buy them at our store, rotorriot.com.
That's
Help
right.
Support us.
If you just got too much money, come on rotorriot.com, buy all the O4s we have in stock, like and subscribe, comment, all the things. This is the end of the video. Are we done?
Is this the end of the video?
I think this is the end of the video.
Are you okay with that, Shawn?
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna.
I gotta go fly my drone.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't got to fly
I
yet,
gotta go fly
so
your. I
let me
gotta fly your.
my-
I gotta fly your drone.
Have fun.